Tonight, live from the home of the 17-time NBA champion Boston Celtics and the 6-time Stanley Cup champion Boston Bruins, TD Garden. It is AEW Blood and Guts. 2 rings, 1 giant steel cage, and absolute carnage, violence, and chaos. On one side, you've got the Blackpool Combat Club, Jon Moxley, Claudio Castagnoli, Wheeler Yuta, Konosuke Takeshita, and the Bastard Pack going against the Golden Elite, Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, the Best Bout Machine, Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, and Kota Ibushi. I have no idea what to expect in this match. All I know is that it is going to just be ultra violence. I'm thinking people are going to get thrown into thumbtacks. There's going to be shards of glass involved in this match at some point. Maybe we'll see a callback to the thumbtack shoe that was involved in the steel cage match at All Out 2021 between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers. Not that there's a connection there because the Lucha Brothers aren't in this match, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see that spot again. Heck, at Anarchy in the Arena, when one of the Jackson brothers, I think it was Nick Jackson, super kicked Moxley, there was a freaking explosion. Who saw that coming? That was... I mean, for God's sakes, at Anarchy in the Arena, not only did we get that exploding shoe spot, but I think it was Claudio Castagnoli and... Oh boy, who was it? I think it was Claudio Castagnoli and I think Matt Jackson. They're outside the arena fighting in a freaking pickup truck. So, this match is just going to be absolutely bonkers tonight. I'm trying to give you an idea of what to expect, but I genuinely don't know. I'm hoping that Dark Order gets involved in this match in some way, but I would prefer for them to get involved post-match. During Blood and Guts, I just want it to be the BCC against the Golden Elite, straight up. And this needs to be the end of the feud. I'm still not even entirely sure why the Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite are feuding, but it's been absolutely fantastic. Sometimes you don't need a reason for a feud to happen. You just sit there and go, this feud is absolutely fantastic. I'm loving it. And that's how I feel about the BCC against the Elite. I'm not sure why they're feuding, but in this case, it does not matter. Also on tonight's episode of Dynamite, we've got the finals of the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament. On one side, we have MJF, the AEW World Champion, and Adam Cole, going against Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara of the Jericho Appreciation Society. I love that this match is not just there to serve, filler time or anything. It legitimately has a purpose, aside from the fact that it's the Blind Eliminator Tag Team Tournament final thingy-majiggy. In this case, I don't really care. Think about the two sides in this match. On one side, we have the unlikely duo of MJF and Adam Cole, who have just produced comedy gold the last couple weeks. They have been awesome together as a tag team. And then on the other side, you've got Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia of the Jericho Appreciation Society, where if you've seen over the past couple weeks, you can tell there's some tension building between them. And flipping back over to MJF and Adam Cole, you're just wondering, when is MJF going to turn on Adam Cole? Or maybe it's going to be the other way, where Adam Cole turns on MJF. I don't know, but all I know is one of them is turning on the other. But I wouldn't do that anytime soon. I've changed my tune about that, actually. Because even though they've been fantastic together, I've been saying, okay, the breakup needs to happen now. But you know what? I've had a change in heart, as I just said. They are hilarious together. So I would keep MJF and Adam Cole together for as long as you can. If I don't know if I would give them the tag team championships and have MJF be a double champion, but maybe that's where you do the breakup, is when they're facing FTR for the tag team championships at Collision on July 29th in, I believe it's Hartford, Connecticut. So the winner of this match tonight between MJF and Adam Cole, Better Than You, Bay, against Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, will face FTR for the AEW World Tag Team Championships at Collision on July 29th. And then the other match that has been announced thus far is one I just don't give a crap about. It's for the FTW Championship, Hook defending against Jack Perry. Nope, I will not call him Jungle Boy. And, Jack Perry's match against Sonata, I didn't care about it because all I knew was Jack Perry is going to turn heel on Hook. It's going to happen. And it did. And Jack Perry has done a fantastic job as a heel. It's perfect. It feels like a mixture between MJF and Christian Cage. I'd like to see Jack Perry lean more into the MJF side of things, but hey, I'm willing to let it evolve and see where it goes. But I just don't care about this feud. Let me see Jack Perry feud with one of the bigger people and be in a legitimate feud. Because right now, I'm sorry, I don't consider this storyline legit. Because, again, I just don't care. It's the FTW Championship. Whoop-de-frickin' do. But AEW has a problem. So, here's the problem. Tonight is Blood and Guts. So, clearly, Tony Khan has had to make a build towards that. On August 27th, we have All In live from Wembley Stadium. Hopefully that's a regular pay-per-view. 1 week later, on September 3rd, it's All Out from the United Center in Chicago. And then on September 20th, we have Grand Slam from Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. That is 4 shows that AEW is having to try and build to basically all at once. And I'm sorry, it has not worked. We are about, like I said, tonight is Blood and Guts, so that build is going to be over. But tonight should mark the build to All In and All Out, because the 2 pay-per-views, I'm calling All In a pay-per-view, are literally a week apart from each other, and on top of that, we are about 5 weeks away from All In, and 0 matches have been announced for that show. 0. So, I think we have an idea of what matches we could get, like MJF versus Adam Cole for the World Championship. I'm guessing we're going to do something with Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara, but on that, let me just get to that super quick. The fact that we got that promo battle between Chris Jericho and Sammy Guevara, where Chris Jericho was like, why didn't you call me when you were going after MJF? Because if you did, you would be the AEW World Champion right now. And Sammy Guevara responded by saying, you never called me about Adam Cole, because if you had, you wouldn't have lost to him twice. And then Chris Jericho says to Sammy Guevara, I want you to apologize to me right now. And Sammy Guevara looks straight at him, dead in the eye, and says, I'm not apologizing for shit. And I thought, okay, this story is about to heat up, and we are about to get a big feud between Sammy Guevara and Chris Jericho. And you know what AEW said? No, we're not going to give you that feud. Because after that, we went into like a stupid storyline between Chris Jericho and Sting and Darby Allin, which, I'm sorry, I have no interest in that match. I had no interest in that storyline because I really wanted to see Chris Jericho against Sammy Guevara. The promos they would have cut on each other would have been like just ridiculous. And you know the match between them would have been fantastic. So AEW completely dropped the ball on that one. And I am pissed about it because that was a match. When they teased it with that promo battle, I'm like, yes, this is a feud I want to see. This is a match I want to see. Give it to me, AEW. Hook it up to my veins. Shout out to Simon Miller, What Culture Wrestling. By the way, I am part of AEW Fan Hub. We are a Discord server. We are on Reddit, YouTube. I will put a link to the YouTube channel in the description of this video. Go subscribe. We have great content over there. We do Ignition every Tuesday night. We do All Elite Talk every Wednesday night. So go subscribe and keep up with our content. It's great stuff. But yeah, and I'll just transition to this now. On that Discord server, AEW Fan Hub, I go by the name Absolute Freakin' Rollins. Why? Because my two favorite wrestlers in basically all of wrestling are, number one, Absolute Ricky Starks. That's the pose that he does at the top of the entrance ramp. Once he broke away from Team Taz and started his feud with Powerhouse Hobbs, I was like, finally! I have been waiting for Ricky Starks to get a proper singles run. And you can just see in the ring and when he's cutting him a promo, he has the skill and the talent to be a singles wrestler. Like, you can just hear when he's cutting his promos. He has so much passion, energy, charisma. You're like, yes, I want to hear what you have to say. And when he is in the ring, he is so good. Like, I think he knows when he needs to be calculated, but he also has the ability to just rev it up to 100 miles per hour. So, I have been saying this for a while, and I'm going to continue to say it until something changes. Ricky needs to be the one to dethrone MJF at Full Gear, and Full Gear needs to come here to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse, home of the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Cleveland Monsters, AHL affiliate of the Columbus Blue Jackets. But on that subject, AEW announced the other day that on September 9th, the day before the first Sunday of NFL action, when the Cleveland Browns host their in-state rivals, the Cincinnati Bengals, AEW Collision is in fact coming to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. So you know who's going to be there, right? Me. I am for sure going to be there. The fact that AEW is coming to Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse. Oh, sign me up. And if my boy Ricky Starks is there, I am going to lose my damn mind. Because, like I said, I am a huge fan of Ricky Starks. And think about what Ricky has done just in this year alone. All right? He had a great storyline with MJF. And, you know, of course he didn't win because it was MJF's very first title defense after beating Moxley at Full Gear. So you knew Ricky wasn't going to beat him. But they had a great promo battle. I think Ricky is one of only two guys who have been able to hang with MJF on the microphone. The other guy being Adam Cole, coincidentally enough. But after his short storyline with MJF, Ricky goes into a program with Chris Jericho, where Starks beat Jericho not once, but twice, including at Revolution. And then after that, Ricky gets stuck into this program with Jay White in Bullet Club Gold, which I hated because Jay White beat Ricky Starks twice. Granted, neither match had a clean finish. And the match that they had in Austin, Texas, on the build to Double or Nothing, I thought that since Ricky lost that match by disqualifying himself, by slamming Jay White in the back with a steel chair, I thought for sure, okay, that's going to lead to them having a match at Double or Nothing, and because Ricky slammed Jay White in the back with a chair, I thought it was going to be a chairs match. And instead, Ricky got placed into the 21-person International Championship Battle Royal thingy-majiggy. I don't care. So Ricky eliminates Jay White and Juice Robinson, and I'm like, okay, they're actually giving Ricky something. But no, then they had Big Bill eliminate him. But now, Ricky just won the Owen Hart Cup tournament. And who did he beat in the final? CM Punk. Granted, Ricky did it in a heelish kind of way because he used the surprise roll-up, the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment. I'm trying to be Simon Miller from What Culture Wrestling there. That looks like a mixture of Simon Miller and Stone Cold Steve Austin. But whatever. So I think Ricky might be turning heel, which if that's the case, I'm perfectly alright with that. I will be a huge fan of Ricky Starks either way. But if we are about to get a feud between Ricky Starks and CM Punk, oh yes, please. I don't like CM Punk. Granted, we don't know if there's reports that maybe the brawl that happened at All Out is just a work, and we're at All In. We're going to get a huge tag team match of CM FTR against the Elite. I don't know if that's true or not, so read into that what you will. But if we are, putting my feelings for CM Punk aside, if we are about to do a feud between Ricky Starks and CM Punk, think about what that means. Ricky will have feuded with MJF, Chris Jericho, Jay White, and CM Punk. 4 of the biggest names in wrestling. Jericho for his time in WWE and AEW, plus he's done some stuff outside of both companies. Like I said, CM Punk he's noted as being the best in the world. In my opinion, he is not, but whatever. MJF, the current AEW World Champion, and Jay White is Jay White. He did great work in New Japan, and he's done okay so far in AEW. But we'll see what happens. But still, it's Jay White. So think about that. If we go through with this CM Punk Ricky Starks feud, think about what that does for Ricky. So, as you can tell, I'm a huge Ricky Starks fan. And then, of course, like I said, my name in the server is Absolute Freaking Rollins. Well, that's taken directly from Seth Freaking Rollins. Because I love Seth. I think it was meant to be a heel, but a song where he just goes, oh. Everybody just loves it. So WWE is like, oh, we're going to call an audible and make him a babyface. I was really disappointed because I went to Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago when it came to Cleveland, and I wanted to stay in my seat and sing along with Seth Rollins' theme song, but I couldn't because of personal reasons. I don't really want to dive into that, but I was so disappointed about that. So I'm really hoping that when Collision comes in here, I'm able to stay in my seat so I can see Ricky Starks' introduction live and do his pose with him where he goes like that. But going back to Seth, yeah, I've always been a huge fan of Seth Rollins. When he first turned into the Monday Night Messiah and had his feud with Kevin Owens, that was some of Seth's best character work in years. Because you could just tell that he was really embracing this character, and the feud was just so good. And the match between them was awesome at WrestleMania 36. I was so mad that COVID came in and ruined it. Because I guarantee, if that one-on-one match had happened at a proper WrestleMania in front of a huge sold-out crowd, they would have just, given the biggest, amount of noise for that match. I feel that same way about Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch, which Shayna Baszler should have won that match against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania, and Shayna should have won the Raw Women's Championship. But that's a different subject for a different day. But all I know is tonight's episode of Dynamite is going to be fantastic. I can't wait. This has been another episode of Talking UFC and Wrestling, in case you haven't figured that out. So, until next time, I'm Unger to the Max, and I will see you next time. Go watch Blood and Guts tonight. You will not regret it.